Today, Tottenham Hotspur has beaten very many birds with one stone after that win against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Harry Kane scored that one goal, and they really scored by 1-0, and they won that game, and he scored late, if I'm not mistaken, and that is where a team which goes by the name of Spurs is. And first and foremost, he has broken every record. Before we go any further, let me first say hi to you, because you might say that I'm not disciplined enough, but obviously, how are you guys, and where are you watching us from? Today, this is the third video of the day. It looks like today we're going to have a marathon, because it's just 16 hours, close to 17 hours, but we are really throwing in video after video. Third video of the day, and remember, we are coming up with the match build-up of Arsenal versus the side which goes by names of Bournemouth. You know that very well, and Arsenal have gotten a boost in there for you. Yuri Tielemans, as I told you that he's not going to be included in the squad, and people say, Rokani, you are lying. Rokani, you are lying now. I think you know my sources are really true. Wesley Fofana totally out of the squad, but Tielemans has been benched by Leicester City. As I told you, that's how it's happening in there for you. So guys, smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. This is a very big milestone for Harry Kane in here for you, because Harry Kane has scored his 250th goal for a side which goes by names of Spurs, and secondly, he has broken a record for Sergio Aguero for scoring goals for a single Premier League club. That is the side which goes by the names of Spurs, and a man who goes by the names of Harry Kane has gone ahead to win that and they win that game, and has really gone ahead to break a record. And obviously Kun Aguero is really out of this, and obviously Spurs have really gone ahead to put up a very spirited fight as far as this game is concerned. Wolves were really so much dominant, and obviously they lost the fight to a side which goes by the names of Spurs. So I'm looking for that record. I want to read it to you in for you. All right, here it is, here it is, here it is, here it is. All right, there you go on your screen. They are telling us that Harry Kane scored his 250th goal for Tottenham Hotspur as Antonio Conte's men survived a wobbly first half to beat Wolverhampton Wanderers by 1-0. Kane, who headed home the winner on the 64th minute after a flick on by Ivan Perisic, now holds the Premier League record for most goals scored for a single club, and he has scored 195 goals, one more than Sergio Aguero. He's 75 behind Alan Shearer. So it looks like everything is rosy for Harry Kane, and spending all his time at Spurs, and we believe that he's going to be here. The coming in of Antonio Conte is really going to keep him here for a very long time, and I think he's not going to renew his contract. He's just going to try to play his contract down, such that if at all he doesn't win a league title or a major trophy for Spurs, he will be on a free contract. He'll be a free agent, and then travel to teams like Manchester United, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, because those teams out there look like they're really great for a side which goes by names of Harry Kane. He wanted to go to Chelsea, he wanted to go to Man City last summer, but obviously they priced him out of the move. Man City were really putting up 130 million pounds for him, and Spurs wanted 150 million pounds, and Man City couldn't really protract any longer, because they had already finished a move of Jack Grealish at 100 million pounds from Aston Villa. So this game, when you look at it lightly, like you're seeing it there, you'll think that everything was rosy for Spurs. It wasn't. They really had nothing to do into this game. The only cameos I'm to really come in and tell you about, I think, are how can I even refer to it? There are things concerning Harry Kane. I think it's only Harry Kane that really registered a shots on target. In the first half, they only had one shot on target, and the other team that you're really competing with had close to 2. So it looks like Spurs was edged out by side which goes by Wolverhampton Wanderers, and obviously Wolves tried to go in and really put up a fight. But obviously, you know, Harry Kane, Song Hyun-min, and the manager Antonio Conte, they never said die. And good things to hear from Spurs is that Harry Kane has scored in his second successful game. Remember, in the first game they played against Southampton at their stadium where they played today, the new White Hart Lane. They never really won that game. Sorry, Harry Kane never scored. They won it by 4-1, and Harry Kane never scored any goal into that match, and he kicked off his scoring spree against Chelsea, where he really leveled the game in the dying minutes to help Spurs really get a point out of that game. Then today he has gone ahead to score his second goal, and obviously that's a positive. That's a positive to a team which goes by the name of Spurs, because you need to bring in those crosses and assists to see to it that your number one goal striker or goal scorer, Harry Kane, really goes ahead to score those goals, because you'll need him. You need him. And this is building his confidence. At the beginning of the Premier League, if at all he's scoring like this, meaning that his confidence is really going to be high according to where they're really going. So it's a positive for Spurs. And secondly, scoring from a set piece in a second. Is it a second or third? I think it's a second consecutive game. In the game of Chelsea, the second goal that leveled the game came in from a set piece that was a corner, and again today it was a corner, and that really shows you that Antonio Conte is man whom he got from the Italian national team to come here and really coach set pieces. Is really doing a great job, and I know he knows why he's being paid. So kudos to Spurs, but it was an ugly win, but obviously it has gotten them 3 points, and as we speak now, they are onto the top of the Premier League table with 7 points out of 3. Other teams have not yet played, and I know no team is playing today apart from Arsenal that can go ahead and really get them off the table, because Man City is playing tomorrow. Which other team has 4 points? Let me see. Which other team has 4 points that is playing today? Newcastle is playing tomorrow. When is Brentford playing? Is Brentford playing today? So I don't know, but it looks like the only team that is going to really be able to really take them off the top four, the first spot of the league, is going to be Arsenal if at all they win against Bournemouth, a game that is happening not far away from now. But obviously, Antonio Conte is going to be an angry man to his players, because they really gave away lots of second balls in the first half. The fluidity going forward was really lacking. The ball was not moved quicker by Spurs. They looked very much tired. Wolves had really read them like a book. They couldn't do anything. You get in the first half, to an extent that they only got one shot on target, and it came in through towards the end of the first half. For the entire 43 minutes, they were doing nothing on the field of play. That is a team which goes by the name of Spurs. That is worrying. But even in the second half, they came up and raised up the tempo a little bit. But obviously, it was not scaring. It was not scaring because Wolves kept knocking on the door. But the problem Wolverhampton is having is they don't have a centre forward. They played with Podence and Guedes leading the line, and they brought in this Mexican guy who came in and really scored goals that really got a problem on his head and was really put out. You get that Mexican guy. So he came in through and he couldn't really score. But obviously they need a centre forward. I don't know what he's going to do, the coach of Wolverhampton Wanderers, that is Bruno Raj. Is he ready to be playing with only falseness? Because Podence is not a centre forward, and Guedes, however much he leads the line at Valencia, but he's not a centre forward. So I will believe that it's going to hurt them this season, and they will really recall that we would have won this game if at all we really had a centre forward, and it's going to be onto their mind now in the fight. So let me show you how the stats were, and then we call it a day for this video, because I don't want to do long videos as far as these match reactions are concerned. Spurs had 11 shots. Wolverhampton Wanderers had 20, so it shows you how much Wolverhampton Wanderers really was onto them. 4 shots on target by Spurs, 3 shots on target by Wolverhampton Wanderers, meaning that Wolverhampton Wanderers were very much wasteful, because out of the 20 they had, only 3 were on target, meaning 17 were off target. 50% ball possession for both sides, 470 passes completed by Spurs, and 474 completed by Wolverhampton Wanderers. So Wolverhampton Wanderers chest Spurs off the park. That's the right way to come in here and really relate to that. 87% passing accuracy for Spurs, 83 passing accuracy for Wolverhampton Wanderers, 10 fouls by Spurs, 8 fouls by Wolves, 2 yellow cards to each side, 0 red cards, 2 offsides for Spurs, 0 for Wolverhampton Wanderers, 8 corners by Spurs, and 6 corners by Wolverhampton Wanderers. This is how the table is looking now. It's Spurs topping the table. They're on top of the table with how many points? 7. Man City is playing tomorrow. They're having 6. Arsenal is playing today. They're having 6. Brentford, they're having 4. Newcastle, they're having 4. Leeds are having 4. Chelsea are having 4 and Brighton are having 4. So if any of the team has to go in and really get Spurs off the top, it's supposed to be those ones that really have 6 and 4 points. And look at the goal difference. They're only having 4 goal difference for side which goes by names of Tottenham, and it really looks good for them. And I think Antonio Conte will know that, all right, you shouldn't play well to win a game, every game of football, but this is for a second game in a row really playing very badly. The game of Chelsea, they played very badly. The game of Wolverhampton Wanderers that has just gotten finished, they played very badly. So we are waiting to see how everything is going to go on at the side which goes by names of Spurs. But the only game they played very well was that of Southampton, because they beat them 4-1 by a very high tempo and intensity putter. But the intensity was low, they couldn't press. So is it because Wolverhampton Wanderers is really a better footballing side? But that does not stop you as Spurs to put up cameos of really good football. But today, it looked like Conte just came in here to get 3 points. And I think he's going to do this season in, season out. Sorry, game in, game out throughout the season. But remember, it's really going to be very tiresome for his players, because he is going to be playing into the Champions League, and he's going to be playing in the Champions League and the Premier League, meaning that some weeks he's going to be having 2 games. Obviously, energy will be calling, and will his players be having the energy being called for? That's the big question that we are really asking in here onto the Rokani Media Football. I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. I want to know your reactions to the win of Spurs 1-0 against Wolverhampton Wanderers, a game that was known so much for Spurs, especially Antonio Conte, but finally they went in and really won it, and obviously they are back on top of the table. That is Tottenham Hotspur. A sign out for now. See you later. I'm scheduling that match build up of Arsenal versus Bournemouth at exactly, it's going to be 17:30 minutes. I think that's when it's going to be happening, because I think it's 6:30. Yeah, that's it. It's going to be 18:30. That's when it's really happening, and then we'll be here to let you know what the game of football is going to be all about. I'm out.